Bethenny Frankel has released a second rant about Vanderpump Rules after releasing her 3-part interview with Raquel Leviss. And I just have to say, I'm a little concerned with her current state of well-being. However, she gave us updated podcast download numbers, so I am going to update the estimates we have been working on. If you are seeing this for the first time, you can check out the evolution of the estimates created to determine how much ad revenue Bethenny's podcast generated just from the 3-part interview with Raquel in prior videos. You can click the link in the corner of your screen or click the links in the episode description below. So in Bethenny's latest rant, she first mentions the response Bravo gave to her reality reckoning, and she's calling it BS, basically saying they're lying and that there are many people who have experienced a situation with Bravo where they were threatened not to release information. She is claiming Bravo engages in illegal behavior. These are huge accusations, so I'm going to stay out of that, but I can't help but wonder what Andy Cohen is thinking. After her rant about Bravo, she then goes into how Bravo is Vanderpumping their PR machine after her interview. And I can say for certain on the record that I do not work for Bravo PR. So I'm dying to know who she's fighting with because she is mad. She also said she has a PhD in Scandoval, which I take offense to on behalf of everyone who's watched all 10 seasons. Ma'am, you don't even go here.
Even go here.
She said this is the last time she's going to talk about Vanderpump, and then they go to commercial. So I truly thought she was done. She then goes into talking about her divorce and the nuances of people having to live with each other while they separate and all this nonsense. I truly thought we had moved on until she circles it back to Ariana and triples down on claiming that Ariana doesn't really need to live in the house, when really my biggest takeaway from that part was that Bethenny doesn't use her critical thinking skills outside of the realm of her own world when discussing other people's lives that have been on a show for 10 years that she decided not to watch. She ends her podcast by talking about how bloggers, podcasters, TikTokers are obsessed and jealous that her podcast went to number 1. And I'm just dying to know, who is she talking about? Does anyone give a fuck? But then it gets really nuts where she basically becomes incredibly unhinged. And I recommend you go check out my YouTube Shorts, Instagram, TikTok, and or Twitter so you don't have to give her the clicks if you don't want. But it is comical, deeply entertaining, but also kind of scary. I'm not sure if we should be laughing or calling for help. Either way, Bethenny told us that there were 3.3 million listeners to all 3 parts of her podcast. So we're going to go update our estimates of how much they generated in podcast ad revenue from the 3-part interview with Rachel Leviss / Raquel Leviss. Okay, in our estimated ad revenue spreadsheet, we have a summary tab, the Just Be tab, Rewives tab, and a YouTube tab. I did not do the estimates for YouTube yet. The Rewives tab, we're not going to touch that one because I don't think there's that much of an impact. The Just Be tab, this is where we calculated an amount of $88,000 for part 1, $81,333 in revenue for part 2, $63,333 in ad revenue for part 3. This is based on how many ads, the types, the duration. All the details of the estimates are in my prior videos. So you can see here, our last estimate was for 1 million podcast listens. Bethenny said that she's gotten 3.3 total. So we're going to update this number to 3,300,000. Part 1, we have $290,400. Part 2, we have $268,400. And part 3, we have $209,000. If we go to our summary tab, you can see that that all adds up to $767,800. And the Rewives total came to $2,271. We haven't done YouTube yet, but the total estimated ad revenue just for the podcast comes to $770,071. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, and I'll check you all later.